Welcome to How To in a Few. Today we're going to take a look at the axle shaft on the Chevy Venture. There's a couple other models that are similar. Most axle changes are the same on any front wheel drive car, but this will be a Chevy Venture van. The way this problem has manifested itself is that there was a slight shake while driving at high speeds, and the odd thing was that the shake was only there some of the time. So some of the time you travel at the same speed, no shake, everything fine, and then other times there'd be a slight vibration that you could feel. Wasn't sure what the problem was until recently. It's gotten to be a little more pronounced, and while you're turning you can hear one of the CV joints starting to knock on this side, so and feel it. So that's the problem, and so we're going to swap it out today. Let me go ahead and show you what a CV shaft looks like. You can pick one up at the auto parts store the way we did, and surprisingly this was a new one that was under $70, so you can't beat that deal. Alright, so here's our box, and you may or may not recognize the brand. This is a brand new one. There's some instructions. We'll read over that a little bit so that we don't violate any kind of warranty. This is a lifetime warranty, so we want to maintain that. So we have a new axle nut. Have to make sure we have the socket for that, and this part goes into the hub for the wheel, and the other side here inserts into the transmission. We are going to grease these splines a little bit just to make sure everything slides in real nice. Alright, bad news is we do not have the correct socket for that axle, so we will have to make a trip to the store. But first we'll go ahead and get the wheel off and jack up the car, because I want to check the axle nut that's on there now to make sure that it's the same. Believe it or not, sometimes they're different, and I don't want to end up needing two sockets. Alright, so I've taken a crescent wrench and I've set it to the new axle nut size, and then I'll try to slide it on, and I see that it does not fit. Therefore, they are different sizes. Alright, back with the right sockets. In the meantime, the rainstorms are threatening. While we still have the car on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and try to loosen up this axle nut. That was not too bad. Now we'll loosen the lugs. And jack the car up. Alright, so after contemplating a couple of different approaches to getting this axle out, I decided I'm going to remove the ball joint. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheel a little bit now so that I can access that on the bottom. And we'll try to loosen the ball joint so that we can move the strut assembly out of the way and then remove the axle from the car. Cotter pin is out. Kinda wish I could get on there, but it doesn't look like it. Alright, I'm going to move the camera out of the way while I try to loosen this 18mm nut on top of this ball joint. Alright, easier than anticipated. I'm going to loosen it up, but not take it all the way off. I don't want that thread to get damaged once I try to pop the ball joint loose. In order to do that, you need a special set of forks. The fork looks like this. It's wedged, and of course you can't see what I'm doing, so let's move it down a little bit. Really don't like doing this because I risk damaging a little rubber boot on the ball joint. Alright, bolts the rest of the way off. That's loose. Alright, I'm still unable to get the control on butching down far enough, so I'm now taking apart this sway bar. Trying to stay clear of undoing the tie rod end, because the tie rod end has to do with the front end alignment adjustments, and I don't want to have to deal with that. I think we're going to go ahead and turn the wheel the other way again. Alright, hopefully that's going to give us enough room. Alright, axle's free on that side. Now it's just a matter of getting the inboard axle maybe joint loose. I'll do that from the bottom of the crowbar. That's probably the best view right there. Use a crowbar like this. See if I can't find a spot. Alright, took a little elbow grease. Still not quite cooperating, but it is loose. Alright, and while there's no sign of a split boot, we can see on the car right there, the grease. It looks like the inner joint came loose, and you can see the grease was centrifugally forced out of the joint and onto the chassis of the car. Now it's time to install the new one. Here's a look at the new one. I greased both ends, a little wheel bearing grease. Now I'll attempt to reinsert the axle. Alright, inner joint appears to be in, but I'm going to get down there and eyeball it. Next is the outer part, which includes the ball joint. One reconditioned cotter pin. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to video this, to tell you the truth. I have almost no room to work. I know you didn't see much there, but it's in. Whew. Alright, you see the ball joints back in, the nuts in there. Notice how the axle is not all the way pulled through yet. That'll happen once we tighten it, but it'll go. Wow, that's crazy. That would never happen again in a million years. Cotter pin went in on the first try. Alright, cotter pin reinstalled. Now we'll straighten the wheel. I'm going to tighten up this anti-sway bar. Alrighty. Alright, believe it or not, we are close to having a winter chicken dinner here. Now this nut is crimped, so it's kind of self-locking. This is going to be one of those situations where, do as I say, not as I do. You need to look up the actual torque setting and torque this axle nut down to the proper setting, or you're going to have axle problems, potential for some dangerous failure, and not to mention bearing issues too. Alright, time to put the tire back on. Alright, now we'll let the car down. We'll give the lugs and the axle one more tightening to the correct torque. And there you go. Alright, so that's it. Other than making sure that you have the right tools, incidentally, and I can't tell you what socket you need because the new one was 32 millimeter, the old one was 33, and it really could be just based on whoever manufactured the axle that's on your car. They do have sets that include multiple sockets, but there was a couple in between sizes that were not included, and I went ahead and got those too, and that was a good thing because the 33 millimeter was not in the set. So that made short work of getting those axle nuts off and back on again. Other than taking it for a test drive, we are done. I'm gonna go wash my hands, take it for a spin around the block, and see if we're still getting any knocking, although there shouldn't be any problems now. It should work good unless the axle was defective. Getting attacked by the ladybugs here. I actually searched on the internet to see if a video was present for this job and found none, so I know that this video helped you out. So if it did, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, or even going so far as to support the channel by clicking the support and donate button. $1, $5, whatever you think it was worth. I know I saved you time by going through it myself, and if not, just a thumbs up will go a long way to helping me out and ensuring that people like me continue to make videos for people like you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.